Hello, everyone. Welcome to Accounting 150, Principles of Financial Accounting 1 online for the fall 2020 semester. We're just glad that you could join us, glad that you're a part of the class. And this purpose of our podcast is kind of a visual tour of the class so that you'll know where things are on the Brightspace, our webpage here. So this will be where you start. This is our home page. I've hopefully laid this out so it's easy to find everything. All of the things that you would most likely access are here at the top. Discussions are here. Content where all our reading will be. Drop boxes where we'll turn in homework. Quizzes where we'll take the final exam. You can track your grades. You can send an email. But I wanted to point out this resources link. If you are unfamiliar or new to this learning system, our Brightspace learning mod, here is a great place to come and spend some time. It says Brightspace resources for students. There you'll be able to watch videos about how to use our learning management system. If you're unfamiliar with Zoom, which is how we will do online office hours, you don't require to use Zoom, but that is one way you could access and ask and answer questions. If you would like to become more familiar with that, it's there. Our tutoring for this course and all other courses, for that matter, online this semester, can be accessed here. They should have a schedule of their times put up there very soon. Smart Thinking is a more generic 24/7 availability tutoring. They will be outside hacked tutors, so they will not be as intimately familiar with our curriculum as using our tutors, but they could still answer some of the questions you may have. Accessing library resources is also here. So wealth of things that you could use and be helpful for you as you move forward and make you successful in this course. So that's our what they call a nav bar right here up the top ribbon. Then down the right hand side I've put my ugly mug, my information, my contact ways to get a hold of me, as well as my personal Zoom room where we will use that will be where you can go for online office hours and be able to access that way. That's where I'll be waiting to answer your questions. The calendar, upcoming events, when things are due in the calendar there is below my contact information. There is this contact browser. I find that most students, I think, just access things through the content link up here, but you can also do so down here. It's the same information, it's just a different way to access it. And then right here in the middle, front and center, is the news feed, where I will hopefully keep you up to date on everything that's happening in the class, including kind of what's due and how we're doing and where we go next, that sort of thing. Kind of a first place to check. I'll try to up that at least once a week, maybe even more often as we move through the 7 weeks of our course. So that's how our home page is laid out. We're going to go in and check the content here. Each module, the class is divided up into modules, basically by week. Let's start with the introduction module, where you can find the syllabus and read through that. I give it to you in 3 different formats. There's 3 different syllabi. This is a PDF version of the textbook that you can access, print out, read, whatever, as you should choose. Each weekly module will be laid out like this. There will be our learning outcomes, what we hope to be able to do this week or learn this week, some type of, inspirational quote or something that to help you get your mind in gear for learning, maybe something to encourage a smile. And then the materials. There'll be what these are called as submodules. You'll see one that's reading and explanation, where you'll find a link to the part of the textbook that we will be covering. So this is the HTML version of the textbook, chapter 1. If you click on that, like I just did, this is what it'll look like. It's not the fanciest textbook, but the price is right, and it is. I did design it and work on it. So any issues with that, please let me know. But it's completely can be blamed on me. There's certain things that can't be changed very easily, and other things that can be. But when you'll get to the one section, the first section, you read that. It's kind of divided up into bite-sized sections. There are questions and then answers, the Socratic method as they call it. And then when you're done with that section, you go up to content and go to the next section. And then read that one. And again, another bite-sized pieces of information. So you can do it in small chunks if you'd like. And then when you're done with all of the sections in the chapter, the end of chapter exercises are back here. All right. So that's how the textbook is laid out and utilized. So you shouldn't have, hopefully that will make it easy to utilize. So once you get through the reading explanation materials, including the PowerPoint slides going over the key points, video, my explanation, my lecture, if you will, about those points, I have provided you with the answers to the end of chapter exercises. So what I suggest is you go through and answer them yourself, and then you utilize this to check your answers. This will not be the problem. So in the end of chapter exercises, there are multiple choice questions or true-false questions. There's just regular questions. Then there's problems. This will be everything other than the problems, so that you can check your work. Then there will be discussions under the discussion submodule. There will always be a question, just a regular ask questions. I don't understand this kind of discussion topic. This is great for us to have question and answer where everybody can participate and learn from each other. That's really interesting and exciting. And let's be real honest, you'll learn as much from others in the class as you will from me sometimes. And then there will be a graded discussion. It will usually have some instructions about the original post and a follow-up post. They will all require at least 2 postings. Certainly you can post more than that. Revise your post once it's up, whatever you would like. The idea is to get back and forth about what you think about these topics. The original post needs to be up by Saturday so that people can have a chance to respond to it. But the earlier in the week, the better, so that everybody can jump in. Your follow-up you have till the following Tuesday night, and then it will lock up. You'll still be able to read in case there are things that you want to go back and review, but you won't be able to post on it any further. You don't see anybody else's posts until you post also. So, and then there's the assignment that is next. And we're going to, there will be homework and just a little bit about how homework works. The exact problems will be listed here in the Dropbox. You'll be able to see what it is. It will be from the textbook. You'll answer those. You'll post them by Saturday. And then once you have done that, you'll be able to see this homework answers video. Before you do that, you can't see that. That will tell you what I think the answer is. You're going to compare those two, make any corrections, think about what it was that you didn't understand, or did understand you're going to make an explanation of those corrections on that same assignment and then repost by Monday. So as long as you explain that and explain your corrections, do so in a different color so I can tell what your original thinking was and what your corrected thinking was. And then you could get 10 points by either getting it all right the first time or by correcting it. So it's the same points either way, as long as you do a good job of explaining yourself and your corrections. And then for this first module, there is kind of a checklist to make sure you didn't miss anything last. All right. Now, back to this other assignment. We're going to do a couple of memos, and what we're going to do, because writing and explaining things in accounting is pretty important. And so, because this is about communication more than it is about numbers or math or anything like that. This is about communication. And so we're going to practice that a little bit in these memos. They're going to be short, one or maybe a little past one page. They should be done in a professional memo format. If you don't know how that looks, promise you type that into Google and you'll come up with lots of different examples of what that should look like. So one page, single space, and this first one will be about the career in accounting. We're going to turn in a rough draft. You can see the date here that's going to be due. I will give you feedback, and then in a later week you will return that in again. The first memo, I'm going to provide feedback. The second memo, you're going to share feedback with your colleagues in class, and then we're going to do a final draft on each. So it'll be 2 memos turned in twice. This one, memo 1, turned in and then you'll turn in a final draft on this one, and then the second memo will be in a later week, and then you'll turn that one in. So that'll be our writing. There will also be a group assignment, but let's go back to the syllabus real quick. Give you just go over some of the things. Some of this we've already talked about. The expectations, please ask for help as needed. I will get back to you within 24 hours all week long, except on Sunday. The textbook is free. You can read it. You can print it. You can do whatever you like. Won't cost you anything. We're going to have a midterm exam and a final exam. We're just 7 weeks for this course, so it will come at us fairly quickly. We'll be taking our midterm in the 3rd week, into the 4th week, and then the final exam will be the 7th week. You'll have over time to do it. You'll be able to choose when you work on it. The midterm will be take home in the sense that it will not be multiple worked on in Brightspace. You can do it in whatever format you will. It'll be like a Dropbox, and you'll turn it in that way. And then the final exam will actually be a quiz in the system, and we'll talk about more how that will work when we get there. Your class participation really is the discussion postings we talked about earlier. There's some things about what we expect on that here in the class participation section, the memos, and then this group ethics project. We'll give you that. You'll be assigned in groups about the 3rd week. You'll work together and turn in a single group project where you will analyze a situation from an ethics standpoint, accounting ethics standpoint, as to how these 2 individuals responded to a challenge at work and what you might do differently if you were in their situation. Our activity and calendar, how our grading works, pretty straightforward. It's just everything will have points. You'll be able to check what those points are at any given time. Makeup. Things that are late will be they'll have a deadline, pass the deadline. Penalty is 10% per day for those. And in every case, you should let me know that that's going to be late, just like you would for your employment if you're not going to be able to be there or be late. Tenants withdrawal policy. I may have to withdraw you if you stop attending class or participating in the learning activities. Please let me know if there's a problem anyway with what your schedule is like or anything that might cause you to stop participating. See if we can't work something out so we can avoid this situation. Especially if it is, I do not know why you haven't given me any reason or communicated with me what the situation is. If you need accommodation because of a disability, we have lots and lots of help for that. Please feel free to connect using any of these resources. And then last is academic dishonesty. Please, if there's any question about what constitutes cheating, we want to work together on some things, but there are certain things that we need to do our own work, the test being the specific example. But if there's any question on any of the other assignments as to what constitutes your work or plagiarism, please ask and we will discuss it. If there is a concern about it, we will have a discussion that may lead to further sanctions or things that if we can't come to a way that we can do better and improve going forward. So please just do your best job, and if there's a question about any of that, please let me know. So that's our course. That's how we're going to operate this for the next 7 weeks. Hopefully we can have a good time as well as learn some great stuff here. I've been learning and doing accounting for a long time, and it continues to be a challenge, continues to be interesting. Was putting together financial statements for a company just a couple of days ago. New ones, ran into a snag figuring things out, just like figuring out a puzzle. And so it's this kind of thing that continues to be an enjoyable puzzle, and but challenging at the same time all the way. And the idea is what are we communicating to those who are going to read these financial statements. So welcome aboard, and glad to have you.